Fie, fie! Unknit that threatening, unkind brow, and dart not scornful glances from those eyes, to wound thy lord, thy king, thy governor. It blots thy beauty as frosts do bite the meads, confounds thy fame as whirlwinds shake fair buds, and in no sense is meet or amiable. A woman moved is like a fountain troubled, muddy, ill-seeming, thick, bereft of beauty, and while it is so, none so dry or thirsty will deign to sip or touch one drop of it. Thy husband is thy lord, thy life, thy keeper, thy head, thy sovereign, and one that cares for thee, and for thy maintenance commits his body to painful labor both by sea and land, to watch the night in storms, the day in cold, whilst thou liest warm at home, secure and safe, and craves no other tribute at thy hand but love, fair looks, and true obedience. Too little payment for so great a debt. Even such duty as the subject owes the prince, even such a woman oweth to her husband. And when she is froward, peevish, sullen, sour, and not obedient to his honest will, what is she but a foul contending rebel and graceless traitor to her loving lord? I am ashamed that women are so simple, to offer war where they should kneel for peace, or seek rule, supremacy, and sway when we are bound to serve and love and obey. Why are our bodies soft and weak and smooth, unapt to toil and trouble in the world, but that our soft conditions and our hearts should well agree with our external parts? Come, come, you forward and unable worms. My mind hath been as big as one of yours. My heart is great, my reason haply more, to bandy word for word and frown for frown, but now I see our lances are but straws, our strength as weak, our weakness past compare, that seeming to be most which we indeedly star. Then veil your stomachs, for it is no boot, and place your hand below your husband's foot, in token of which duty my hand is ready. May it do him ease. I'm just done with feeling like a failure. I'm tired of being looked down upon for trying to be my own person. I guess I didn't realize that instead of signing up for a lifetime of happiness with someone that I love and can share my life with, that I was actually signing up for years and years of losing my identity, wasting away for almost 30 years. And for what? All to be told that I'm not doing my job, that I've failed as a wife, that I failed as a mother, and now that I failed as a woman? I want whatever leftover amount of false hope you have in you. I wish I could have the ability to flip the switch in my brain and see things the way you do, all roses and rainbows. You see me as this poor, dirty girl, and your son as my knight in shining armor, but I just can't see it that way anymore. I don't know why it took me so long to open my eyes and snap out of it. For 29 years, I have been in this state of false hope, and to say that I am tired is an understatement. So if he wants me to apologize for not slaving away in the kitchen, not slaving away with the house chores, for not cooking all the time, for not keeping the house clean enough, for not being his maid, why doesn't he apologize for even expecting me to do all those things and thinking that's all I should be capable of, huh? And it's not even like my thoughts and feelings don't matter, because everything has to be about him and himself only. He always finds a way to do that. You should know something about that. And God forbid I try to take a step back and focus on my own damn self. I'm struggling too. Every time I ask for help, I can never get it. I'm the only one in this house breaking my back and making sacrifices, and my own wife can't even help me out. Well, guess what? He's right. He has been making sacrifices. He just sacrificed his own marriage, he sacrificed one good woman, and he sacrificed his own family. This is what he wanted. This is what he asked for all along. But because I was the one who made the first move and served him with the papers, you and the rest of the family think that I'm the bad guy. I'm the bitch. This battle for love and respect has been a losing one. And I still believe in love, but I also believe in karma. And since I'm learning to become myself again and gain my independence back, then karma isn't the only bitch he's gonna have to be worried about.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it subsids and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time to try count thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem? Letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the adage. What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time, nor place to then here, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nibble from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this. Okay, Jamie, how does this sound? I understand that many of you are afraid. See, no, I can't do that because if I mention fear, they may think that I'm afraid and we'd be starting off on the wrong foot. So maybe I say, dear brothers and sisters. No, I can't do that either because they'll think I'm just, they don't want to hear from a stuck-up wannabe Harvard graduate that thinks she knows better than everybody else, but if I go out there using slang, they'll ask me what gang I'm a part of. So I'm not male, middle-aged, white, and a bit misogynistic. Does that make me any less fit to run this country? Of course, I'm nervous because a lot of people do not want me here. They don't see my story or my past or everything I had to do to get here. They just take one look at me and decide for themselves. Why do so many people hate me? This is something I've always wanted and never thought I was going to get. And now that I'm here, I feel like I'm supposed to be relieved, when in fact I feel more pressure than I ever had before. I feel like a coward in my own skin. Being a black woman is hard enough. God forbid I actually have power and control. The country is in shambles. The people are mourning. And can you believe the person the world is looking to for help is me? I know, they're not gonna wanna hear from me, so what do I do? How do I get them to look past my skin color and gender and just see me? I want to move forward just as much as they do. You think I went through 8 years of schooling to remain the Secretary of Housing? One thing is for sure. History has its eyes on me, and they're waiting for me to make my first move. When they tell my story, what are they going to say? Well, here we go. My fellow Americans.
Hard to seem won, but I was won, my lord. With the first glance that ever... Pardon me, if I confess much, for you will play the tyrant. I loved you now, but not till now so much I master it. In faith, I lie. My thoughts, like unbridled children, grown too headstrong for their mother born. See, we fools! Why have I babbled? Who shall be true to us when we are so unsecret to ourselves? But though I loved you well, I wooed you not. And yet, in faith, I wished myself a man, or that we women had the men's privilege of speaking first. Sweet, bid me, hold me your tongue, for in this rapture I shall repent. See your silence, cunning and dumbness. From my weakness draws the very soul of counsel. Stop my mouth. Miss Schmidt, do you mind if I ask you a question? Well, it's just, I'm sorry, you probably have better things to do right now. But, did you give me Cressida on purpose? Like, did you know that I was... I'm sorry, that is so stupid to ask that. I'm practically challenging your decisions, which was not intentional. I didn't mean to. I don't get it. Why is she so afraid to speak her mind? She apologizes so much, like right here. She says, I wished myself a man, or that we women had the men's privilege of speaking first. Like, is she serious? Who would... I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get upset, but if Shakespeare had really made these characters solely based on imagination, then why does it feel like I'm reading one of my diary entries from last week? I want to tell her to stop apologizing, that it's okay to take a stand and stand up for what you believe in, and that if she wants to stand in front of a crowd and shout out to the rooftops, then I would tell her to not stop until everyone in the country knows her name. and that maybe she never felt anything for Troilus. Maybe she never felt anything for anyone. And that it's okay if she paid a little more attention to how she dressed. And that it's okay if she smiled and laughed a little more than all the other kids when Rose made a joke in class. That maybe she had never felt anything for Troilus. And her new lover in Troy wasn't a he, but a... I'm so sorry, I did not mean to get off track. The point is, Cressida deserves to be happy without having to sacrifice her voice, especially for some guy. She deserves to speak up for what she believes in. I gotta go, but thank you. It's comforting to know I'm not alone. I want to be happy. And I'm not sorry about that.